Allah
Yes.
gives not merely according to our merit, but according to His own generosity. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Ramadan Radio. Today I have Zeynep as my guest again. And since it's the last 10 days of Ramadan, we want to talk about Laylatul Qadr. And what is Laylatul Qadr? What should we be doing during Laylatul Qadr? Hi Zeynep, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. It's always so nice to be here on Ramadan Radio. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you for asking. Today our topic is Laylatul Qadr since it's the last 10 days of Ramadan. This is heavier of a topic than last we talked. What do you think?
Yes. So it is always a journey during the 3 holy months, Rajab, Shaban, and Ramadan. And now we're entering the last 10 days. Like the journey, it gets more intense and intense. So we started with Rajab, we continue the Shaban, and we started Ramadan, we fasted for 20 days, and now we're in the last 10 days of Ramadan, and we're going to be searching for Laylatul Qadr. So since it's better than 1,000 nights, we got to think about it's better than 1,000 months. It's so much heavier and it is more important to talk about.
Absolutely. I think the first thing we should be asking is what's Laylatul Qadr,
Yes. So what Laylatul Qadr is at its core is that the Quran was revealed on Laylatul Qadr, and it is better than 1,000 months. Angels and Jibril descend by Allah's permission, and this night is very special to us Muslims, that I see it as like a huge gift from Allah, since the Quran was revealed on this night. Allah reveals that the Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months, and whatever we do during this night, hopefully when we catch this night, it's going to be better than 83 years of devotion. So one night worth of 83 years.
Yeah, but there is this topic of revealed in one night versus revealed gradually.
Yes.
The common question, what do you think? I think it's there is some truth to both. What do you think?
So how some both are true is that the Quran was first sent all at once to the lowest heaven, or the heaven of the world as a whole, but then it was revealed gradually to our Prophet alayhi salam over 23 years. So the Quran was descended from Allah to the heaven of the world, to the lowest heaven, and then it was gradually descended to, it was gradually revealed to our Prophet. So Allah sent it all at once to the world heaven, and then stages according to the need to our Prophet.
So, Laylatul Qadr as an Ulufe night, divine gifts beyond our deserving. So it's the night of technically Allah giving us the gift of praying to Him and getting the rewards 1000x, right? If you think about it. And both talks strongly emphasize Allah's generosity on this night. What it means, Laylatul Qadr describes royal distribution of gifts, right?
Yes.
Allah gives not merely according to our merit, but according to His own generosity. It makes you really think.
Yeah, it's a night where Allah may grant profound openings even to those with weak capacity. So if we enter the atmosphere of Laylatul Qadr, Allah grants us so much and shows how generous He is.
He absolutely does. And why is it better than 1,000 months? Mercy for short-lived ummah. Hojafandi shares interpretation. The Prophet felt sorrow that earlier nations had longer lifespans for worship, while this ummah's average life is shorter. Laylatul Qadr becomes a mercy compensation. The Prophet was saddened that his ummah's lifespan is shorter. Jibril came with his surahs as glad tidings.
It is amazing how our Prophet ﷺ, felt that sorrow that the earlier nations before him had longer lifespans for worship, and his ummah was going to have a shorter average life. And that's where the Laylatul Qadr comes in. It is, again, how you said, it is a mercy compensation, one night worth of 83 years. So if you devoted yourself through Rajab, Shaban, and then the first 20 days of Ramadan, and then you seek for the Laylatul Qadr during the last 10 days, you're basically being compensated for 83 years of worship. I think it's a pretty good deal.
It is an incredible deal that all of us Muslims should take advantage of.
And it is kind
Absolutely.
of like cramming for an exam as well.
Absolutely, I had many of those. It doesn't like the whole 3 months you study, you pray, but sometimes you just gotta put that extra effort on that one night before the test. Laylatul Qadr is a lot like that in a way.
But
And
let's
you
be
know,
honest, with like tests, it is that you have some preparation beforehand and then you cram and then you get, you have the test. So with the
absolutely.
you kind of should be, already doing something like, little by little throughout the Ramadan. And then when the Laylatul Qadr comes, then that's where you approach your peak, that's where you do your cramming. So one other thing about the Laylatul Qadr is that the word Qadr means value. So if we think about Laylatul Qadr, it's a night of value. And let's think about that. It is one of the strongest themes of Laylatul Qadr. The benefit of Laylatul Qadr is that it reminds us to be a value knower. So we gotta be valuing our time. We gotta know the value of our worship. We have to know the value of the people, value the path and responsibilities that we have. And most importantly, I would say value Allah's gifts.
Absolutely, you are very right. Know the value of the night so that your value may be known. You know? Laylatul Qadr should be sought in every night. Those who treat every night as Qadr are the ones who truly gain. And if you live the year with appreciation, Allah brings it out from the where it's hidden, pretty much.
And it is
And
hidden. So
it is
like
hidden, yes.
it is. When Laylatul Qadr was revealed to our Prophet, actually, but then after he saw a couple people arguing, then Allah made him forget when it was. And so that we have to kind of appreciate the fact that now we're going to be searching for when Laylatul Qadr is. So instead of like, having a set date on when we should know when to cram, we got to be, be ready. Any night could be the Laylatul Qadr and doing our deeds accordingly.
Absolutely. And it feels very interesting because as a kid, we always thought like the 27th night or like 26th night is the
Yes,
Laylatul Qadr, but like it's not like that. We don't know what day is it as much as we want. We truly don't. And one of the biggest topics during Laylatul Qadr is the role of itikaf. During Laylatul Qadr, spiritual readiness, spiritual loneliness. I mean, it's physical
yes.
loneliness finding spiritual readiness in a way, you know?
As students, you're a college student, I'm a college student. It is hard to do itikaf and kind of go into a mosque, not talk to anyone, not do anything else but ibadah for 10 days. It's hard for us. But then that should not discourage us from not doing an itikaf. So I would suggest that in the last 10 days of Ramadan, if you find maybe like a night or 5 hours, an hour, 30 minutes, however much time you can find, go to a mosque maybe. If you can't go to a mosque, maybe, just do it in your room alone and have that intention to do itikaf and kind of shut your shutters to worldliness. So, shut the windows, close the curtains to worldliness and kind of be alone. Be alone to cleanse your heart so that with your dua, you're inviting Allah.
Absolutely, you are very right. I know I'll be doing it in my room this Laylatul Qadr, hopefully. Inshallah, that's the plan. And I'm gonna try to make the most of my nights as much as I can. Thankfully, my
Exactly.
midterms are over, so I can fully dedicate myself every night
I'm
to
so
do
jealous of
itikaf.
the ones that have their spring break during the last 10 days of Ramadan because they
Yeah,
have a much better opportunity to itikaf. But again, that should not discourage the ones like me that do not have their spring break over the last 10 days. We can just, again, as you said, we can just have like a night, a couple hours, and close ourselves to the world, read Quran, do dhikr, pray, and maybe make up for any missed salah and just make dua to Allah. Speaking of dua, we actually have a note for our listeners.
yes, we do. The communal dimension, we language, collective reward, and shared destiny. Islam is a religion of community and union. So whenever we are making our duas, we always use the we form Always remember that, please, guys. It's not you, it's not I, it's not he or she, it's always us and we together as one. That's what Ramadan teaches us throughout the month. So let's make sure we are using the we language during our prayers.
Yes, so when we pray, we should say, "Oh Allah, forgive us, have mercy on us." And make sure when you're making dua, include others. So your brothers, sisters, any of the oppressed people around the world, the ummah. Make sure that, remember, if one of us, like any of us around the world, attains that itikaf on the last 10 days, the whole community, like the whole ummah, the whole community of Muslims, we all benefit through a shared intention and solidarity. So I know for our listeners, in this last 10 days of Ramadan, and especially in Laylatul Qadr, hopefully we can all pray with we and say, forgive us and have mercy on us in our du'as. And remember that if one of us catches Laylatul Qadr, it is as if all of us did. So that kind of, relieves me.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is a relieving thought. Thank you for adding in, Zeynep. With that, we're gonna kind of wrap it up. Have like some night of focus, Some of the quick things to mention over before we close this episode is that it's a night of focus. Always remember that, guys. Quran recitations, reflections are important. Deep tawbah, istighfar is important. Dua with we language, like we just mentioned, is very important. Avoid arguments and spiritual noise. This is a night between you and Allah. Always remember that. And give charity if possible. I understand that's not possible for everyone, but remember, we spent the whole month trying to understand the poor, so we should try to do something for them, guys, please. And as every night of the 10 days, it could be Laylatul Qadr, so try to do your best every night. Act like
it could
every
be like
night.
30 minutes or an hour, doesn't matter. Make sure to have that sincerity just every night, and hopefully you will catch the Laylatul Qadr.
Exactly. Thank you for adding again, Zeynep. With that, goodbye everyone. Thank you for joining me, Zeynep. Take care. Happy Ramadans. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.